Alrighty, hey guys, how you guys doing? I am recording this video because it's late at night and I just remembered this existed. I'm going to try to speak as fast as I can so I do not have any little stops in any of my videos because this is all one voice recording over the video. There is no editing here because I suck at editing the audio in a video, so just hope that I get this done, and I'm sorry if I stop after a second. Alright, so I'm going to be talking about all of NOLI's abilities and why they are some of the most easy to exploit against NOLI. We'll talk about stab first. After a 0.35 second long windup, NOLI deals 25 damage. He swings and deals 25 damage. It's just the M1 for the killer, but I'm only talking about this one specifically because other killers have less of an obvious windup than NOLI's. The next thing he has is Void Rush, the ability that makes him have some of the best, yet some of the worst abilities in the entire game. Void Rush is just the bread and butter of him. After a 1 second long windup, NOLI charges forward, and after a few seconds, the Void Rush ends and enters a 20 second long cooldown. If hitting a survivor... Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I'm reading this in my brain just before it. I'm so sorry. If you hit a survivor, you begin again, and you get about a second to begin a second Void Rush. If stunned, hitting a survivor, or if stunned, hitting a wall, or going too long without hitting a survivor, Void Rush ends. I'm also talking about something else that I forgot to mention on the script because I'm too stupid and I'm too lazy to rewrite the script because it's too late at night. I'm not doing that. If you hit a survivor with hallucination 2 or 3, or 2 or above, so basically 2 or 3, you slam and deal 40 damage. It does an extra 3.5 damage for every single person you hit. This ability is pretty useless in chase because you are either going to need to rub against a wall just enough to hit, or you fail. It's also just a way to make him more of a rush down and frenzy killer. I will talk, if you guys do not understand what a frenzy killer is, I plan to make a video talking about different types of God damn it. Different types of playstyles for killers. You know, talking about all the different ones ranging from rushdowns, ambushers, to frenzies, youth. Whatever, let's continue, because oh my god, my phone just paused, turned off on its own because I have my script literally on my phone. Whatever, we just need to continue on. Nova, the worst anti-loop in the entire game. After a 0.7 long windup, NOLI throws a star and enters a 12 second long cooldown, which if it hits a survivor or a wall, it implodes and pulls survivors in. But if it hits the floor or is manually detonated, it activates a smaller explosion. I forgot to mention that the cooldown ends when the star explodes, or the cooldown begins if the star explodes. This is the most useless anti-loop in the entire game, only for one reason, and that is because what if survivors just walk away from it? I know that is not a likeliness of it happening, but that's because they're either experienced with the game and know how to successfully use Nova, but survivors can just run and strafe, which basically makes it harder for survivors to get hit by Nova. And before I get a comment saying, well, throw it at walls to make it harder for them to get away and easier for you to close distance. Well, what if they just ran away from the walls and lose? Observant, the Aura reading ability, and one that I feel like could use a possible rework if needed. NOLI enters a stance and all generators become highlighted, and icons will appear on generators for survivors. To see and click on one of the highlighted generators, you will teleport to the generator after a 1.45 second long windup, and Observant enters a 30 second long cooldown. I don't have much to say about this besides it's only good to find survivors, but I will talk about a way to make it somehow better at rushdown, yet also is good at surprising survivors. Issues with NOLI. NOLI can use some balance changes for his kit, and I am here to talk about those because it is well needed. First off, Void Rush. Void Rush can deal 15 damage off the first hit, but any other chains on survivors, they only take 5 damage, rather than the 10 that is usually applied on the first hit for survivors. Of course, slamming doesn't change at all. Slamming stays the same. This makes you more focused around wanting to actually hit that first survivor and then slam them afterwards. To actually jump scare and ambush. Second off, Nova. Nova can move through walls and only implodes when hitting a survivor directly or manually detonated. Nova will have less of a pull and slow survivors for 4 seconds and has a longer cooldown by 5 seconds, so it gets a 25-second long cooldown. I feel this is needed because Cool Kid's Corrupt Nature is probably one of the best abilities in the game. This will be like a better version of it, where it can explode and pull survivors in and slows them. Now for Observant, this is the one that I feel like can use a complete rework with a new way of teleporting. Not only he can teleport to generators, but he can also place down one spot on the map that he can also teleport to. It's kind of like Father's teleport from Pound by 14 o'clock. Now, for exact reasons, and the factor that I realized that this video is 6 minutes long, about to be 7 minutes long by now, is that the spot doesn't give hallucinations to any survivors, but just like how Father's is in Pound by 14 o'clock, it also gives you a speed boost if you are nearby if you're near the survivor by a 12 stud radius. Will you ever be 12 studs within a survivor, even though they will have 1 and basically a half second to move out the way? Yeah, they will most likely move out the way before you get to them, but it's a good way to get closer to survivors without them being able to loop you, since you can place a big loop spot and force them into being away from that loop spot entirely. Now, just to be counterintuitive, and also so I don't have a 7-minute long video that is boring as hell, I will be talking about people's counterclaims in case some people have some. Like, number 1, what about NOLI's actual just base speed or anything? I keep talking about ways to make him close distance faster, but I'm not talking about literally his movement speed. That, I will say, he also needs a slight increase in movement speed. Not by a lot. They can literally increase it by like 0.15. It's okay. Not much else is needed. Now, what other people will say is that NOLI will then just become overpowered. Well, technically speaking, people call him a pub stomper. That's mostly because competitive players have really high knowledge on, dealing with NOLI. As I talked about, competitive players usually know how to do what I said. Dodge Nova, dodge Void Rush. Basically, these rebalances is to make it so they're better on competitive standpoints. Because I never find any game unbalanced. I find every game unbalanced. And having a character that's insanely strong in casual matches or public servers. Pub stompers are just pub stompers. They're only good during public lobbies. And sadly, that is what NOLI is. Any competitive player can easily loop NOLI for basically the entire round. That's why all these rebalances is focused more so on the looping part of NOLI. Since might as well make him a rushdown, why not just make him more focused on being rushdown? Even though I was talking about how he should be more of a ambush. Continuing on, Jesus Christ, I am going to be yapping a lot. Another thing is people will say that the idea of NOLI being able to throw the star through walls sort of makes it so you need more skill to use. Because you can't just throw it at a wall and have it explode on the wall. That's the thing. He's a 5-star difficulty character. What do you think he's gonna need? Some way of needing skill. Of course, observe it sounds pretty strong, but yet again, you have a wind up to teleport there, sort of like how Father also has one in Combat 14 Clock. Now, before I get someone talking about it, I know Father was replaced. I know JX1 was also replaced. Reasons I will be talking about in a different video if you guys want me to. And finally, the last one that I'm expecting to see is, am I just complaining to complain? No. I am like level 170 for NOLI. I play this guy basically all the time. And I will say, without a doubt, he is probably the biggest pub stomper I've ever seen that isn't Harkin from Die of Death. His whole kit is not really that useful. And the thing is, you would expect him to be really good at, well, ambushing. But for a character that is insanely predictable, you only get that very beginning in Chase to ever land Void Rush. Every other attempt, either you hit the first one and the survivor just starts strafing, that or you miss entirely because they just strafe too fast for you. Will I say that NOLI is strong like this? Maybe. He could use a bit of tweaks here and there. But other than that, that is all my video is to offer. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys check out any of my other videos, and I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys go and watch my other videos because they are actually pretty good. I hope you guys will return, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!